breaking. We begin with breaking news. In the last few minutes, US President Donald Trump has paused all military aid to Ukraine following his clash with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House last week. Now, the halt comes after Trump accused Zelensky of being uninterested in peace and ungrateful for US support. White House officials said that US aid would be reviewed to ensure that it was, quote, contributing to a solution. We can speak with Christine Berzina now with the German Marshall Fund think tank. She's responsible for geopolitical analysis in Northern Europe and North America. Great to have you on the program. Now, Trump has ordered US military aid to Ukraine to be halted. I'm interested to hear your reaction to that first up.
This is a very alarming development in the relationship between the United States and Ukraine, and is definitely a blow to Ukraine's war-fighting abilities. There has been speculation since Friday's hostile meeting between Zelensky and Trump in the Oval Office that there could be dramatic measures that the Trump administration could take in order to pressure Zelensky to get on the same page as the United States. Now, what has been announced this evening here in Washington is a pause on these aid deliveries, but in many ways that is how a lot of Trump policies start, a pause for evaluation. And when it comes to USAID, for example, that pause has led to the halting of programming rather than resumption. So this puts Zelensky in a hard place. The question is, how does Ukraine act next? Does Zelensky become more in line with Trump's view on diplomacy? And this is another example of how Trump is prioritizing the speed of peace and getting to the negotiating table rather than any particular outcome in terms of what's in it for Ukraine. For Trump, the cessation of hostilities is sufficient.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is this what you mean when you're talking about the pressure that this is meant to put on Volodymyr Zelensky here?
Absolutely. So we saw on Friday that Zelensky was not interested in capitulating to Trump on his version of events, on his reading of Putin. He very much was still fighting for the narrative of Russia as the aggressor. Over the weekend at the London summit, there was a continuation of the need to have sufficient military aid so that a stronger position of Ukraine is attained for there to be good negotiations. In some ways, this is the U.S. answer, which is not to put Ukraine in the strongest possible position, but to put Ukraine at a negotiating table. And that, again, comes to the